Greetings, salutations, hello to all my freaks and creeps. I am VideoVomit. You guys are here. You're safe inside the bunker, so there's nothing to worry about. No nuclear holocaust to fret about. And today's episode is all about my balls. Madballs, that is, my personal collection. I have a lot to get into today, so we should probably just jump right into it. In 1985, Amtoy was a small toy company, was inspired by, at the time, Garbage Pail Kids. They wanted to make a series of toys because the Garbage Pail Kids were very popular at the time. And they decided that they wanted to make some ball-themed toys. And they took soft foam balls about the size of a baseball, and they put this gross, creepy, wacky spin on them, and that was the birth of Madballs. As you can see here, we got one of the promotional things here. So in the initial release, there were 8 of them, and we got another picture here to look at as well. This was like one of the original posters, and some of the original lineup was Hornhead, Screaming Mimi, Oculus Orbis, Dust Brain, Slobulus, Skullface, Arg, and Brain Bash. And a cool little interesting thing about Brain Bash, the guy with the exposed brain there in the poster, his name used to be Crackhead, and they obviously changed that for confusion reasons. And we also have some old commercials to take a look at, so I'd love to get into those. We're gonna look at the first commercial here for the original Madballs.
Madballs, gross for one, gross for all. We play with a Madball, they're gross, funny, yucky, sick. There's 8, so you can take your pick. We throw, catch, it's fun. There's so much gross in every one. Freaky fun is what they're for. There's so much ugly, so much more. Gross for one, gross for all. We play with a Madball. We play with a Madball. We play with a Madball. Madball.
Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
Madball.
And there you have it. There's the first commercial, and then the series was popular enough. It was pretty hot with kids, so they decided to make a second series, and with that came a second commercial. So we're also going to show that one as well.
Madballs, gross for one, gross for all. We play with a Madball, they're gross, funny, yucky, sick. There's 8 folded. For 8 more Madballs. Snake bait, freaky fullback, splitting headache, lock lips, swine sucker, bruise brother, woof breath, fix face. We play with a Madball. We play with a Madball. Madball. Now 8 great Madballs are joined by 8 great more, sold separately from Amtoy. Madball.
There you have it. And so closely towards the end of the line, they made 3 Super Madballs, and to really beat a dead horse, we're going to play that commercial as well.
And now, Super Plays of the Week, starring the craziest sports balls in the world, Super Madballs. In football, someone slips a Super Madball into the game, centers it to the quarterback, who freaks out and fumbles. In other action, look at this catch. In basketball, the Super Madball really puts on some super moves. And in soccer, everyone gets a kick out of the Super Madball. New Super Madballs, foul shot, goal leader, and touchdown terror from Amtoy.
Great commercials. So I really like those. I always enjoyed seeing those. So then that brings me to actually showing these toys off a little bit. I have 3 of the OGs here. I have Skullface, Dustbrain, and Hornhead. You might notice this Hornhead is a little different. That's because I decided to deface him and paint him myself. So yeah, this is pretty cool. These are awesome toys. They're pretty squishy and soft. With over time, some of them, these older ones, can get a little hard and a little crusty. These balls can get a little hard and crusty sometimes. So with these old ones, there has been some reinvention of the wheel per se, and Art Asylum made their own skull face. I don't have too many of these. I just have this one. But these were released in 2002, so this was like the reinvention. These were meant to look way more gory, as you can see, and a little bit more, gnarly, if you will. So that leads me to today, and some of the Madballs that are out today. We have some of the new series. These are like available right now. They're available in Targets, Walmarts, Amazon, stuff like that. So as you can see, you saw those old ones. Now you can see these. So these are significantly cartoony, way more cartoon styled. So let me put the horn heads next to each other because hornhead is my favorite. As you can see, they're very similar, but also very, very different as well. And I think that's pretty cool. And then we got Slobulus here. He's way more cartoony as well. He's got the eyeball hanging out, his signature eyeball, and then Skull Brain here. Yeah, these are just so much more I wouldn't say kid-friendly because they are kids' toys, but they're just significantly more stylized, I would say. Then we got Oculus Orbis here. This is a favorite for a lot of people. I actually like this design more than the old one. So this is one that I actually prefer the new one over. Just because instead of it just being a simple eye, he's got, a little bit more personality to him, which is pretty cool. Leading me into, I have, my balls are falling all over the place. I have one in the package. This is Buzz Off, not to be confused with the Masters of the Universe Buzz Off. So I thought it'd be cool to rip this sucker open. If I can even do that. Here we go. Working on it. Almost there. Here we go. Okay. So here he is. Here's Buzz Off, one of the new characters. This was never one of the old ones. This is a pure new design and pretty cool. It's kind of when you think about it, it's actually kind of hard to think of a bunch of ideas for just heads. So I think they did a pretty good job. There are some other ones out there in the line. This is the series 2 of the newer ones, and so these are kind of harder to find right now. I'm sure at one point in time these will be easier to find. So definitely look those up. They also have tiny ones, tiny balls. If you like tiny balls, here you go. Now we got another Slobulus, just extremely tiny. Another one of those cool stylized Oculus Orbis. And I have a Screaming Mimi of the mini one as well, so how about that? And then, so the way that they're packaged is they are blind bags. So I'm not sure if any of you are familiar. Designer toy people and collectors will definitely know about these. If you go to a comic book store, these are available in Target and Walmart and Amazon. And they're basically just, you don't know what you're going to get till you open it. So I thought it'd be cool to buy a couple and we figure out what we got here. So let's hope it's not not something I already have, because that would be a total bummer. Oh, cool. We got a Dust Brain. So this one is significantly more stylized as well. He always has like the one eye open and then his mouth and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's cool. Oh, cute. So let's see what this other one is. Let's hope it's not. Oh, see, this is the risk you take. This is the risk you take. I got another Slobulus, son of a bee. That's okay. I'll flick them off table. All right, so now I'll just throw my garbage to the side, and we got some more to look at. These ones are big balls. We got some huge big balls to look at now. These ones are made not by American Greeting Company, which made the last ones. These ones are actually made by Kid Robot, which is another. They're another toy designer toy company. They do a lot of blind box figures and stuff like that. But they decided to tackle the Madballs. And these are awesome. Comparing them to, they still have that, my balls are flying all over the place. They compared to the old ones, they still have the same look. Like they're actually pretty similar to one another in style and in look. So I wanted to get all three of them together. As you can see, we'll do a little comparison of Dust Brains. So yeah, so these have like a dry rub on them, so it like accentuates all the cracks and stuff. And these are also these feel probably, out of all of the new toys that have come out with the Madball properties, these probably feel the most authentic. So that's pretty cool that they feel very similar. And then we got the Slobulus here. This one's probably my favorite big one. I really like Hornhead, obviously, but I think Slobulus's head looks pretty cool. And so that's pretty cool that we got, we can have a cool little evolution here of all the different ones. So yeah, you can just see the main style is pretty consistent, and just with the little tweaks here and there. So that brings me on to another commercial that we have, actually. This time it's all about these action figures that came out attached to the Madball property. They're called head poppers. So let's take a look at that commercial.
Hands up!
Madball, Madball.
Welcome to the wacky world of Madball action figures, a world of good guys
Attack, Skullface. Get him, Dust Brain. Up with the head. I give service.
Defend yourself, Slobulus. Gotcha, screaming Mimi.
and bad guys.
Wolf breath. Bear's feather. Head off, Blockman.
Wow.
And you can switch heads from body to body. It's a world of funny friends and frenzied fun. The world of Madball action figures with head-poppin' fun.
From M-Toy.
Ta-da! Haha, I have some. These are the Madball head poppers. Now this is, besides the having like some really chewed up, horrible old ones, hand-me-downs that I had, this wolf breath right here is one of my original figures, and you can definitely see that because his nose and face has been all chewed up. But yeah, so these are the head poppers. These are really cool. These are highly sought after by collectors, and for good reason, because they're actually really hard to find. They're actually kind of fragile. Most of these, they will like the head will like pop off in the middle of the night or something like that, and just scare the living hell out of my girlfriend or me, and they'll bounce around the room, bouncing off my shelves and whatever. They have a life of their own. But yeah, so these are really cool. Like in the commercial, you know, you can like switch their heads around. We got the Hornhead. Again, my favorite. He's just the coolest. I just love the Cyclops. So cool. And then we got Skullface here. That one's really cool too. Reminds me of Tarman. There's been some artists that have painted a Skullface Madball to look like Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. And so speaking of, I have some custom ones that I wanted to. They're in the back here. I was holding back on you guys. So I have an Oozit style one right here, which is pretty cool. I really like Oozit figures. They are also another vintage figure. This was a head made by True Tech and Last Zectron, and so I decided to take that head and put it on a Madball head popper body because it fits so well. So I thought that was really cool. And then I also have this custom Jason Voorhees Madball head popper. I love anything horror themed, as I've been iterating time and time again on this show. But yeah, I thought I'd take the baseball type guy, and they have these little head squirters. A lot of double entendres today. So they're these little balls that you fill up with water, and then you squirt that old water at your brother or sister. And I saw they were the perfect size for the head poppers as well. So just drilled a little hole in there and put it in there. So yeah, then we got a Madball head popper, Jason. So yeah, these were the head poppers, and they also had a little vehicle. It's a motorcycle, and I always thought this was really cool. You just You just put them on in there, and it has like something like a launching throwing arm for these for the balls. And here, I'll put it here so we can get a close up of it. Move these out of the way. This is what happens during a live show. You have to do things like this. Okay, so yeah, it's like a big trike pretty much. It has this humongous wheel. I am missing the top part here. There's like a targeting thing / basketball hoop, and then you can actually put a figure on the back here, and then once you pull this lever, this skull lever, it'll launch their head and it'll go flying. So yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. I really this whole line is kind of just super bizarre, and for something that started with just heads, moving into action figures was kind of like the logical step. And these are kind of obscure, so they're kind of harder to find. They have different packaging. You know, on eBay, I would say is your strongest bet of finding something like this, and then, whoop! I caught a ball out of nowhere. So, yeah, that was. So yeah, I would say eBay is probably your best bet to find something like this. You could probably find them in their Japanese packaging, which that'll run you a little bit more expensive, and which comes in a box. And then their American boxes, they're actually just like a card. It's like a traditional action figure card that you'd see. So yeah, and then. So now we're going to move on to the amazing world of knockoffs and bootleg style. And I have a old promotional commercial that we can look at as well for the, I believe it was the Ugly Balls. So while I frantically take these off the table, you can watch this 30-second commercial. So enjoy.
Has a face only a mother could love.
Ugly Ball.
You can get one free from Bunker's Chewy Candy by sending 10 outside wrappers to Bunker's Ugly Ball, Box 1197, Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Ugly Balls from Bunkers.
You'll love them.
Okay, that was a lot of work, but I did it. So I thought it'd be fun to show this one off. This might look familiar. It might look like that creepy lady and little kid from the commercial. It is not the same one that you can get that you could have gotten from that ad. If you paid attention, there was like a scar across one of these eyes. So this is I'm pretty sure this is a bootleg or knockoff of that actual toy, of that Ugly Ball. And if I'm wrong, go ahead and tell me I'm wrong and tell me why and where it actually comes from, because that'd be cool to know. So with these, I will unleash the gates and show you some other bootlegs and knockoffs. I have a bunch of these because these are probably my favorite. I had before today. I actually got those old ones in the mail like hours before I drove here to get into the bunker to survive the nuclear holocaust. So I have these. And these are monster balls. There are other kinds of bootlegs, knockoffs. You got your Ugly Balls, weird balls, freak balls, but these are some monster balls. And they have some very, very interesting designs on there. Like this guy's got a lizard on the back of his head. Is he a baseball? Did he just get brain surgery? I don't know. Don't ask me. But he looks pretty in pain. So you can kind of tell that the influences of these range and vary. So it kind of looks like Hornhead. He's got that like nose ring and the lips and the head and the eyes. But then he's got like some weird shit going on here that I don't know what's going on. And then we got this one. This guy, he looks very uncomfortable. He's got a frog in his eye. I think anybody would also be very uncomfortable with a frog in their eye. I still have the made in Taiwan sticker on there. How about that? Again, with the stitches and stuff. So this is kind of just a very common thing with gross out toys. This is the kind of stuff that attracted my eye as a kid. Like the weird and the gross and the stuff that normally wouldn't be for kids. So I think that's pretty cool. And we got this weird, what is this guy? He looks like Igor. but he also looks like a vampire. I don't know. What the hell were they thinking? But they're cool and they're weird, and that's why I like them so much. And we got some more to look at. We got this weird mummy guy, vampire mummy. When does that ever happen? I don't know. But apparently it has. And then we got this weird guy. I love him. He's really cool. The texture on this guy is really cool. He looks like he's part of some Norwegian metal band with his eyeliner there. So that's pretty cool. And I have some that. So these are kind of fairly easy to come by. When I was collecting them, they were. Now they've kind of gone up in a little bit of price. But I did grab some that I could paint, and so I would like to show you those. I have a bunch that I've painted for commissions or something like that. So if you have some of these and you want me to paint them, hit me up. But here we have a Frankenstein one. I painted this one just last night, actually. And he's got some purple hair there. And yeah, so I tried to do a little bit classic Frankie, but you know, make it a little weird at the same time. I like this guy because he reminds me of Skullface, but you know, he's got like more going on there. And so I took advantage of that. And he's got like some cool cracks, his teeth and stuff. Thought I'd give him some face tattoos and make him look hard. And then I just love all the designs on these. He's even got like a bat on the top of his head, which is really cool. And then we got another mummy guy. I love the face on this one. This one's cool. I also did this one last night. I was frantically sweating in a basement with toxic fumes from my painting this stuff for your eager eyes today. So please appreciate it. No, just kidding. I don't care what you think. So we got this one here. This one's cool. I enjoy doing like half and half type paints, you know, like half blue, half green, or something like that. I enjoy stuff like that. He's kind of got that crackhead look too, with his brain exposed. That's pretty cool. All right, and moving on with that, I think that we could look at some rotten or Killer Tomatoes. So you might have heard of Killer Tomatoes before. It's a movie, and they made a toy line. And while these may not be like Madballs or anything, I thought it would be really cool to include this in there because they are of a spherical shape. So I have one in a package that I got. Here we go to look at the cool artwork there. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And we have a victim there to be eaten. And Fang Mato is the name of this guy. So they had very, very creative names. And then we got this guy. See, this is so I have some out of the package. These are harder, getting harder and harder to come by. If you probably type in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes toys on eBay right now, you could probably find a decent selection. But finding some in a lot together is more difficult. And of course, I finally got this one. This one's my favorite one. His name is Mumado. You might have been able to guess that. I don't have any of the little human figures for these. I was able to get this in a lot on eBay. And this one was my favorite one, and I was looking for him for a while. So I'm super happy that I finally have him because he's a mummy tomato, and what the hell is not to like about that? That's just really cool. So if you've never seen the movie, there is not, it is not Gremlins 2 style where there's like every category of monster. It's pretty straightforward. They're just killer tomatoes, you know, so they're nothing like this. If they remade it and made it really goofy like this, that'd be cool, you know, or not, you know, whatever. But yeah, I thought this was really cool, and I thought that this fit the theme of today's episode, so I thought we would look at that. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. So moving on. So not only were there, you know, bootlegs and all stuff like that, but you know, there's the knockoff realm as well. And this is called, I only have one of these, but this is called a Blurb ball. And there's commercials for those. They're actually a pretty popular toy. But this one its whole gimmick isn't that it's just a ball. Its actual gimmick is that it shoots stuff. So he's got this little, I'm gonna reach inside of him real quick here. Yeah, rip his heart out. And he's got this little tiny heart projectile. So when he was more new and better out of the package, he really shot this thing across the room, but you really gotta jam it in there, and I'm not gonna shoot the camera with it as much as you would love me to, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I just love the style of this. I love I love how weird and goofy he looks. He's just got a great vibe to him. I love all, like, he's got like a bat hanging off of him on the back there. He's got a spider web on his head. He's got a spider here. He's got, you know, his rings, like a true vamp boss. He's got his rings and medallions and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And then I think it would be cool to get into some more. Before I get into some of the designer ones, I wanted to show you guys. This is a Mexican bootleg. Again, it's not a Madball or anything, but anything in a spherical shape I think could qualify for this episode. So it also sits on the shelf next to all of them. So have a look at my hairy ball here, a critter. This is a critter. You may or may not have heard of the movie Critters. It's about these little furry ball alien things that come to Earth, and they have like porcupine quills. They shoot at people. They eat people. It's just a whole nightmare. It's like a ripoff of Gremlins, pretty much. And I say that with love. But yeah, so I actually have like a huge one as well. This one's just ginormous. Look at this guy. He's huge compared to this. I've got a big hairy ball and a little hairy ball. My balls are completely off-sized. But yeah, so they're really cute. I really like those. See how cute my balls are. But yeah, so let's get into some of these designers. So now it's more popular, I think, than ever, because it's had enough time to brew. It's had enough time to really connect with people. So these kids these kids from the 80s are now adults, and they can, you know, they're producing their own toys. Much like we talked about Keshi, we talked about Sfubi. So it makes sense that people would make their own of this as well. So geez, what should I start with? We'll start with a resin one. I have two from True Tech and Zectron here. Right here is a resin one. This is, again, an Ooze-It. I talked about that for the head popper, that green one. I have a Ooze-It here in the background. So this guy right here, this is a MIDI-Com Ooze-It. So not the original. I don't have one of those yet. So you fill these guys with slime, and then you squeeze them, and it comes out their ears and their eyes and their mouth. And so it's kind of like just another gross out toy. And so for Halloween, I'd like to cover stuff like this, so keep an eye out for that. But for this guy, this ball here, it's a parody or like inspired by, I should say, inspired by the Ooze-It. So you can totally tell with the craters, and they even sculpted in some ooze coming out of the holes there. Again, there's a lot of double entendres. And then we have this cool Crater Man moon face on the back there. So that is really cool, and you know, it's got that movie nod to that old movie there. And then this was this is another tomato one. This one's made out of the Keshi rubber, so it's kind of bouncy actually. But it's very thick. Like I could totally take out somebody's window with this thing. It's very heavy, just because it's like solid rubber. So yeah, obviously inspired by the Killer Tomatoes. So, and this is Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes. Haha, get it? Play on words. Haha. Yeah, so this one I painted as well. It was like a marbled Keshi rubber, and I just didn't appreciate it at the time, and so I half-ass painted it, and it was sitting on my shelf for forever until I finished the painting the other day. So there you have it. Some some painted balls there. Yeah, so let's move on to some other customs and inspired by Madballs. These are, I have 3 from Electric Zombie. So Electric Zombie, he's a really cool guy. He makes his own, he does like shirt designs for bands. He does all kinds of cool stuff, but his main style, his main steez, is horror movies. Sound familiar? Yeah. So this totally resonates with me. You might recognize some of these faces. He made a few of these. This one's his more popular one, I would say. He called it the Woodsman, but obviously we know who this is. This is Jason Voorhees, and there was 2 different colorways of this one. There was like the skin tone with a white mask. See the EZ, Electric Zombie, that's cool. And this release that I was able to get, this is the NES version of Jason. So if you guys ever played the Friday the 13th NES game, in that game he had a purple jumpsuit with a blue mask. That was like his like color styling choice, I guess they went with. And so in honor of that, they did this. And you can also take off his little resin mask here, and oh wow, there's his little gross face there. He's missing one eye. That's cool. I love that. It's very reminiscent of the what is it? The New Blood, I believe it. Yeah, the New Blood Jason, where the telepathic chick is in there. I really like that one. You fight me if you don't. I don't know. So we got these are actually 3D printed. So at the time that I bought these were on eBay. I didn't know that they were 3D printed. These are actually prototypes for the actual release. So I don't even know what the original release. I think that they were like multicolored, like they were marbled as well. Now thinking about it, but here you have the Stave Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. So that's really cool. He is awesome. He's white, like a marshmallow, and there we got that EZ on the back there. So this is really cool. He's very lightweight compared to the others. Again, because he's hollow and he's also made of 3D printed material. So yeah, and then we have Sam from Trick or Treat, and so directed by Michael Dougherty. It's like a horror anthology film. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction in a way where there's different stories going on in one town, right? And they take place at different times, and some of them overlap with each other. And one of the main characters throughout the whole thing is this little creepy kid with a sack over his head named Sam. And spoiler alert, when his mask is removed, he has a little pumpkin head. And so this Madball inspired toy is based on Sam himself. And we got the carved in EZ again. That's like his style to let you know that he made this. And yeah, just really cool. And this was, which is cool, again, reiterating that these are prototypes and these weren't designed to be this 3D printed material isn't like worth or wasn't for distribution, basically. This actually glows in the dark, so they used the glow in the dark 3D material to print this, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah, so I highly recommend you check out these movies if you haven't seen them. Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Ghostbusters. If you haven't seen Ghostbusters, just stop watching this, please. Just kidding. and Sam here from Trick or Treat. So this is an awesome movie. Please go check that out. I highly recommend it. And yeah, we got 3 more. So let's check those out. So these are from a guy that I follow on Instagram. His name is Crypto Dude. And he hasn't, I think he hasn't released one in a while, but you might recognize this. More horror-themed toys today. This is the Necronomicon Ex Mortis from, that's right, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. So I really like this one. This is probably like one of my favorites in the collection. He's got a little ear on the side there, and if you noticed, it's the opposite side. So, and that's really cool. He's got all the stitching on him. He's even got an extra eyeball on the back there, because the Necronomicon was bound in human flesh and inked in human blood. He's got a little crease on the side like he was a book at one point in time, and for some reason he just rolled up into a ball, which if you've seen the Evil Dead movies, that wouldn't be like a far-fetched thing to happen if the Necronomicon like morphed itself into a ball and like rolled away from Ash or something. That doesn't seem like it too far off. But yeah, so he made these. These are significantly different. They're also significantly larger than your average Madball. Way squishier. It's like rubber skin with really soft foam on the inside. And so these are like, just the painting on these alone is like incredible. That's really cool. I'm really happy I got one of these. There's also a Belial one from Basket Case, and I have like a huge, I don't have a huge collection of Belials, but I think my collection's pretty decent. And I really want to track one of those down. So maybe one day a collector will be generous enough to help me complete my Belial collection. And this is again another Oozit inspired thing. This time it's also crossed with another inspired by a nag. Those are a specific kind of Safubi. The brand is called Nag Nag Nag, all together, all one word. And they're extremely expensive. They're extremely rare. They're like $1,000. So I'll never have one. But yeah, I thought it was cool that it was inspired by. So it's like a cross-pollination, if you will, between a nag and an Oozit and put into ball form. And he's even got little arms there. That's really cute. But yeah, there was two colorways of this. There was the purple and there was the green, and my favorite color is purple. So, just natural that I'd get the purple one. So, and if you ever want to send me a Christmas card or a Valentine's Day card, make it purple. So there we go. There we have it. These are Crypto Dude's balls, and I'm glad we could take a look at his balls. And then finally, my last ball of the day is a Safubi ball, and I painted this last night, and I'm kind of proud of it because I really like the way it turned out. This is glow in the dark as well. This is a Frank Kozik hate ball. Frank Kozik is a really kick-ass designer. He's been in the game for a really long time and doing art in one shape or another, and he makes his own toys, whether it be resin, and he gets his vinyl produced and stuff like that. So he had these made. I had some crystal clear blue ones for a little while, but this one was my first one, and so I wanted to paint this one. And it's glow in the dark, like I said before, and I airbrushed the top there and around here, so it could still glow through. So it actually looks really cool underneath the black light. This is, again, very heavily inspired by Madballs. He's got some cool, like there's a hand coming out of the back of his head there. And there's like all this stuff crawling out and twining around, and then it's got this really cool. It's like a mix between Ratfink, if any of you know what that is. It's like old artwork that would go on the side of hot rods and stuff, and it's like and cross between a Madball. So that's really cool. I really like this. So yeah, guys, today was a really fun show. I hope you guys had fun. And that's all the balls I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my collection. I hope I didn't gross you out too much showing you all these balls. And thank you for watching all those commercials as well. That was really fun. You guys can catch me at any time on VideoVomit, at VideoVomit on Instagram. You guys can catch us on the YouTubes. We upload every live episode afterwards, so you guys can always catch up on those. And then also we started streaming live on Twitch, so please follow us on there. and help us build that following that we're looking for. And I hope that you guys enjoyed today. I had a lot of fun. And get out of the bunker. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. And so same bunker time, same bunker place. See you later, guys. Have a good one.